Welcome to SSN Entertainment TV, your go-to channel for thrilling game highlights and the latest news from the world of sports. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just looking for some exciting entertainment, SSN has got you covered. Something bizarre is happening with the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors currently rank 6th in the Western Conference, but they are currently only one win away from being in the top 5 now. When it comes to the Warriors, there are a couple of stats that don't make sense on how well the Warriors are doing. So in today's video, we're going through 5 bizarre stats that you may not know about this Golden State Warriors team, and now these certain stats could make or break the Golden State Warriors when it comes to playoff time and winning another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and if you could subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. So the first weird stat is the Golden State Warriors have one of the worst away records that are still in the playoffs. Now if we look at the Golden State Warriors so far this season, they actually stand 9 from 25. So they haven't even hit double digits when it comes to wins when playing on the road. And this is honestly surprising to see. If you look at them, they are in the top 8 right now, where they're 6th in the actual Western Conference, and the only other team to be below 10 road wins is actually San Antonio Spurs and Houston Rockets for the Western Conference, and Spurs ranked 14 and Rockets ranked 15. So, it is actually super surprising to see how they have such a bad away record, but yet are still in the playoff picture. And I think this has surprised a lot of people. A lot of people thought that maybe Stephen Curry was out during these road games. But guys, Stephen Curry has actually played more road games than he has at home. So no one really knows what is the actual problem with the Golden State Warriors when it comes to playing on the road, but it seems to be a big problem for them. Now if we even look at the Eastern Conference, everyone has actually won above 10 wins. However, for one team, which is Detroit Pistons, who actually rank 15th in the Eastern Conference, they also have 9 wins as well on the road. So they actually match the Golden State Warriors. It really doesn't make a lot of sense even if we look at stats. Steph Curry went averaging from home. He averages around 28 points in away. He averages 30 points. His rebounds also go up with the away games. So, it doesn't seem to be Stephen Curry, but some other stats did come out where it did show a little bit of a discrepancy between home and away games. If we look at Klay Thompson at home, he's actually averaging 25 points, however at away, he's only averaging 18.6 points. So, you definitely see a huge discrepancy there. His rebounds are also a little bit lower, from 4.4 at home to 4.1 in away. But it doesn't really seem to be too big of a difference compared to his points. If we look at Kevon Looney at home, he averages around 10 rebounds per game. However, Kevon Looney in away games only averages 8. So you definitely see 2 rebound difference there. We also look at Draymond Green. Draymond actually is less in every single statistical category when playing away. So these is points, rebounds, and also assists. I honestly think it was super interesting to see what's really causing the problem when it comes to Golden State Warriors in away games. But they don't seem to be able to get done. I think there's honestly such a fantastic classic stat to look at because these could really be a huge take when it comes to the playoff time. They may not have the home court advantage they always have, especially when it comes to playoffs, as ranking is super important. So this is something you definitely need to work on, and I guess focus on especially when it comes to away game, as they won't have the home court advantage for a playoff series once the playoff starts. The second crazy stat is that Stephen Curry isn't even the highest scorer for the Golden State Warriors or even the most 3 points made. Now I think this comes to a surprise to everyone, But everyone knows that Steph Curry is the Golden State Warriors. He's a leader for this team in all facets, but he actually hasn't scored the most total points out of all the Golden State Warriors players. This year, the number one spot actually belongs to none other than Jordan Poole, which has surprised a lot of people. Now, Jordan Poole has actually scored so far this season at 1,524 points, while Stephen Curry has only scored 1,450 points. So this is honestly surprising to everyone, and it did also surprise me at the time. But as you all know, Jordan Poole is a scorer when there are a couple of baddies on the sideline. He definitely gets the scoring going. So I honestly do think this has had a huge impact when it comes to Jordan Poole. It also hit the max contract that he had. Obviously, Jordan Poole is trying to live up to that hype, and he continues to do so by scoring each and every single night now. Steph Curry has missed a couple of games compared to Jordan Poole, who has played quite a lot more. But I do still think this is an interesting stat to look at, because it does show that Jordan Poole has a scoring capability whether Stephen Curry is on or whether he is off, and is even way past Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson also has more games than Steph Curry. Klay has only scored 1,372 points, so Jordan Poole is coming off the bench and is actually the most total point out of all Golden State Warriors players, which I thought was fantastic to see from someone like Poole. Now, if we go over to the 3-point made as well this season, Stephen Curry doesn't actually rank number 1. It's actually none other than Klay Thompson. Now, Klay Thompson, like I mentioned before with also Jordan Poole, he has played a couple more games. However, Klay Thompson has hit 268 3-points this year, while Stephen Curry has only made 238 3-pointers. So a 33-point difference. I think this is honestly fantastic to see from Klay Thompson. It does seem he is back to where he was before the major injuries, and also he's only getting better and healthier as time has gone. It's definitely going to be needed in the playoff and special championship time, but the fact that he has been able to lead this team, especially in 3-pointers, really does show that Klay Thompson is striving to get better and has gotten better at that. I thought this was an interesting stat to look at. This does not take away the fact that Stephen Curry is the leader of this team. He always will be the leader for this team, but I thought it was super interesting to see Klay and Jordan Poole really provide where it's needed, whether it's in 3-point or whether it's just scoring all around. The third is the Golden State Warriors, are the only team in the bottom 10 in defensive rating, but are still in the playoff picture. Now, they say defense wins championships, and it doesn't seem to be the case with the Golden State Warriors. So far this season, they have lost players such as Gary Payton II, also others such as Juan Toscano Anderson and Otto Porter, and it did take a huge hit to their defense. They actually ranked and tied for 20th in defensive rating out of all 30 NBA teams. So they do rank in the bottom 10. However, when it comes to defensive ratings, it doesn't seem to have taken effect, because so far, the Golden State Warriors rank 6th in the Western Conference. So these surprise a lot of people, because they're only one of the few teams that are actually in the bottom 10 in defensive ranking, but are still in the playoff picture. The only other team to do this is Hawks, but they rank 8th in the Western Conference, while Golden State Warriors still rank 6th. So defensive rating, obviously, on top of that comes with points allowed. When it comes to points allowed to the other team, the Golden State Warriors rank 25th in that category. So pretty much the 5th worst of all 30 NBA teams. This really doesn't make any sense, and like I mentioned in the title of this video, this is super bizarre. If you look at some of the other teams that are actually in the bottom 10 in defensive rating, the Dallas Mavericks, who right now currently are out of the playoff picture. The other teams such as San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, and Portland Trail Blazers, who are all out of the playoff picture and are pretty much tanking right now to go for victory. This was honestly hilarious to see, especially when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, because they have been able to finesse the system and shows that sometimes offense can win games and win championships. At the end of the day, the Golden State Warriors are used to being a very great defensive team. However, this season, it seems to have gone the other way, where they have pushed the offense even more. Now, it is great to have players back such as Gary Payton II, who is playing his first couple of games very soon maybe. I do think Golden State Warriors can definitely get that defensive rating up, especially when it comes to playoff and championship time. And I think it will be definitely needed. Yes, they have gotten to 6th place, or they are in the playoff picture, even though they have a bad defensive rating. But I think when it comes to playoff series, they are going to have to push that number higher and play defense they can ever do, whether that's with Gary Payton II, whether that's with Dante DiVincenzo, or even the players that you wouldn't expect stepping up such as Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, who aren't really seen as defensive players but stepping up to the plate in order to get the job done. I think this is really important for the Warriors to figure this out, but so far it has worked out in their favor, because their offense is just that good that they don't even need that much defense to deal with. I think if they were even able to get up to maybe the top 15 of the Golden State Warriors defense, or get there with NBA in the top 15, I think that is definitely more than enough for the Warriors to be able to win another NBA championship. The fourth is that Stephen Curry is shooting the best season he has ever shot in his entire career. So we talk about this time and time again, but Stephen Curry is playing some of the best basketball he has ever played, even over some of his peak seasons of 2015 to 2016. And we look at some of these peak seasons in 2015 to 2016 season. He was averaging 30 points, 2.1 steals, 6.7 assists, and 5.4 rebounds. If we look at his stats this year, he's shooting 29.6 points per game. He's also averaging 6.2 rebounds, which is actually the highest he has ever averaged, and also 6.3 assists. So this is some of the best basketball he has ever played, because if we look at these percentages, it even gets more insane. If we look at his field goal percentage, he's actually shooting the highest field goal percentage he has ever shot. He actually tied with his 2015 to 2016 season of around 50 from the field. If we look at his 3-point percentage, he's somewhat up there at the top for 2012 to 2013. He was able to shoot 45 from the 3, but now he's shooting 43%. Now obviously, you do gotta take to account that he is taking 4 to 5 more threes per game than he was back in 2012 and 2013. So that's something to be wary of about as well. But if we look at his overall effective field goal percentage, this is where it gets honestly insane. So the effective field goal percentage is a statistic adjusted for the fact that a 3-point field goal is worth more than a 2-pointer, or even, other stuff like that. So when it comes to his effective field goal percentage, he's shooting the highest at 62%. The last time he shot this high was in 2015 to 2016. So this is pretty much showing that Stephen Curry has not aged one bit, and he is honestly just playing at peak Steph Curry form. So I think it is great to see that even though Steph Curry is 35 years old, heading into 36 next year, he is still playing at such a high level. It doesn't even seem like he's slowing down anytime soon. I do think it's definitely built around his game that he has built, and I think it's honestly great to see Steph Curry continuing to play at a high level. The fifth weird stat is that the Golden State Warriors are the fastest team in the NBA. Now this is something that has surprised a lot of people, because although Golden State Warriors are very team, they have never been the fastest team in the NBA for some time. Now if you look at a couple of seasons ago, especially when they won championships. They ranked around 15th when it came to pace, but now they're up there at the top because they're actually ranked 1 with 102.59 as their pace. Another team that is coming second is Oklahoma City Thunder with 101.92. They are well above the pack, and I honestly think this was super surprising to see Golden State Warriors play a fast-paced game, that they are literally playing 1 or 2 steps of a lot of other teams. If you look at some of the most fast-paced teams, they actually aren't teams that are in the playoffs. The next fastest team to actually be in the playoff picture is a 7th spot, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. It definitely shows a big discrepancy. Fast-paced teams usually don't make the playoffs, but Golden State Warriors have defied the odds once again and have done the impossible. And there you have it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the latest Golden State Warriors updates. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.